Good afternoon, sir. I am Doreen Volante, and here is my appointment letter as a proof that I am the assigned assessor in this assessment. I would like to check the room as to the completeness of the rules and equipment and whether the assessment room is well ventilated, illuminated, and safe to the candidates. Upon checking the room assessment, the tools and equipment are complete. It is well ventilated, illuminated, and safe to the candidate. So we can now start the assessment. Good afternoon, my dear candidates. I am Doreen Volante, your competency accredited assessor for Bookkeeping NC III. This is my ID. With ID number 12345 as a proof of evidence. But before we start, I would like to acknowledge the presence of our tester representative, Ms. Jesselet B. Navarro, our AC manager, Mr. James Nery Brito. You don't need to worry about their presence. They are here to oversee the conduct of assessment and to check if the conduct is in accordance to the agreed or to the prescribed assessment methodologies and procedures. They will not assess you, okay? So, for now, I am going to check your attendance. As I call your name, please raise your hand and please show me your admission slip and your identification number. Okay, number 1, Von Elid Bouvier. Okay. Sir, please write your name here.
Umikat ng video.
Sige lang.
Then signature. Okay. And last, Nathaniel Gabriel Udroso. Okay. May I see your admission slip? Please sign here. Thank you so much. And now, I have here your accomplished application form and self-assessment guide. It indicates here that you know and you can perform all the enumerated competencies in Bookkeeping NC III. But before we start, we will have first a short orientation. So what is assessment? Assessment is a process of gathering evidences or collecting evidences and making judgment whether the competency is or has been achieved. The purpose of this assessment is for your qualification, recruitment, and educational needs. Bookkeeping NC III is composed of basic, common, and core competencies. But for now, we are going to focus on the core competencies such as journalized transaction, number 2, post-transaction, 3, prepare trial balance, and then 4, prepare financial reports, and last is review internal control system. Bookkeeping NC III has 2 types of assessment. Number 1 is demonstration and the other one is the written test. Under the demonstration, I will be giving you sets of transactions. Either you will receive a perpetual type of transaction or the periodic type of transaction. You're going to journalize, post the transaction to the ledger account, and prepare the trial balance, prepare the financial statement, closing entries, and then the post-closing trial balance. Meanwhile, on the written test, I will be giving you 5 sets of transactions. Each transaction has 3 questions. You need to answer at least 15 out of, you need to answer 12 at least 12 out of 15 items so that will be satisfactory. Bookkeeping NC III is a project type assessment, meaning it has only two types of result. Either you are competent or not yet competent. If you are competent, after or upon receiving the cars which will be given to you by the EC managers, you after 3 working days, you may apply for issuance of NC at Testa Office, which is located at Gaisano Mall. You need to bring your cars, your passport size ID, picture with white background, and then 50 pesos for the processing fee. While this NC is valid for 5 years. Well, if you are not yet competent, you may apply for a reassessment at any accredited assessment center at your most convenient time. So, remember candidates that the result of this assessment is confidential. Okay? There are do's and don'ts in this assessment. Do's is you should apply your OSH during the demonstration. And the don'ts is you are not allowed to use your cell phone, and then you are not allowed to live in the EC premises without informing the assessors or any of the staff, and also you are not allowed to loiter in the premises. We also give consideration allowable adjustment in this assessment. Anyone here who has a religious practices that need to be addressed during the assessment? Anyone? Okay, none. Is there anyone here who need to take medications during the assessment or need to be considered? None? Okay. So anyone here who need, anyone here who has difficulties in understanding English, just let me know so that I can help you to understand, to translate it in a way that you can understand the instruction very well. Anyone? Okay, none. So, as a candidate, if you are not satisfied on the result that I have been given to you, you may apply or may appeal through writing to the EC manager right after the assessment. And I, as your assessor, I have also the right to stop the assessment if there is a danger at all. Okay. So now, if you have no more question, I will be giving you the ID number according to your attendance. Bon Eli Bouvier, your candidate number 1. Please. And then Nathaniel Gabriel, your candidate number 2. So, if you have no more questions, I will give you the specific instructions. Read it in 10 minutes. Read it carefully. If you have a question, other clarifications, just tell me. Okay, so please read. Okay, time's up. Now we're going to start the assessment. We're going to start the assessment. Okay, time's up. Please pass your paper. Candidates, please proceed to the waiting area. Then, as I call your number, please come in, ha? Sige. Bon Eli. Okay. How is the assessment?
It's good. It's
Okay. Now, how will you rate your performance? 1 to 10. 10 is the highest.
10.
Okay, so in your demonstration, you need to journalize the transaction. You need to post the transaction with the ledger account and prepare the trial balance, financial statement, post closing entries, and post closing entries. So based on your demonstration, you analyze the transaction correctly. You journalize the transaction correctly. Use correct account name and numbers, post the transaction to the ledger correctly, and you got the correct running balances of each account. and also you prepare the financial statement correctly. So now, my grade for you is you are satisfactory. So, I will sign here, date, and you sign here, date, okay, and in your written test, out of 15 items, you got 14, so it is satisfactory, so I sign here, the date, and you sign here also, the date. And now, as your final result, based on your demonstration and written test, in competency 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all are satisfactory. So, my recommendation for you is for the issuance of NC3 in bookkeeping. And the overall evaluation are you are competent. So, I will sign here and date, and you sign here as a candidate. Upon receiving the cars, which will be given to you by the EC manager, you may apply at the TESDA office, which is located at Gaisano Mall. Just bring the cars, your ID picture, passport ID picture with white background, and then 50 pesos for your processing fee. So, for now, congratulations. Okay, thank you. Candidate number 2. Okay. How's the assessment? Okay, so how will you rate your performance 1 to 10? 10 is the highest.
10.
Okay, so based on your demonstration, you forgot that your transaction is a periodic type of transaction, meaning instead of crediting merchandise inventory, you credit only cash. That's why it affects the other transactions, the running balances of the account, it affects. So the result is not satisfactory. So I will sign here with date, and you sign here. Date. Okay. And on your written test, out of 15 items, you got 14. So because of that, you are satisfactory. I sign here, and you sign here. Okay. As a final result, based on your demonstration and written test, competency 3, 4, 5, you are satisfactory. While in competency 1 and 2, you are not yet satisfactory. So, my advice to you or recommendation for you is for reissuance of Bookkeeping NC III. At the nearest or accredited assessment center, at your most convenient time. So my overall evaluation for you is not yet competent. I will sign here the date, and you sign here also. Okay, thank you, sir. Sir, please sign here. With date. Okay, sir. Okay. Sir, I have to return to you the copies, 3 copies of attendance sheet, 10 copies of application form, 10 copies of self-evaluation test, 10 copies of candidate's guide, 1 copy of assessor's guide, and 10 copies of cars. Thank you. Okay. Yun na. Okay na?